Most boxing fans expect skill, rivalry, and stakes, but in this so-called crossover event, Andrew Tate returned from years away to face DeMoor, a reality TV heavyweight cutting size for the cameras. The official story calls it an exhibition. Commentators call it a new low. But what really happened inside those 6 rounds that left viewers asking, what was that? The answers start with how this fight broke every expectation. Misfits, Mania did not follow the script of a traditional boxing night. The Tate vs DeMoor bout was officially labelled as an exhibition, with no championship on the line and no impact on any divisional rankings. The fight was scheduled for 6 rounds, each lasting 3 minutes, a format common in influencer boxing, but shorter than most professional title contests. From the outset, this was promoted as a high-profile spectacle rather than a sanctioned professional contest. Unlike standard bouts, details such as the official venue, the sanctioning body, and judge assignments were never fully published in major boxing databases. BoxRec and Topology list the match only in fragmentary form or not at all, reflecting its status outside usual commission oversight. This lack of formal documentation is typical for Misfits boxing events, which often operate under looser exhibition rules and prioritize entertainment value over sporting legacy. There were no official titles, belts, or ranking points at stake. The fight outcome would not alter either man standing in any recognized boxing organization. For both Tate and DeMoor, the stakes were rooted in reputation and online clout, not in the pursuit of a championship or a professional record. This informal structure also meant that official statistics such as punch counts, control time, and detailed scorecards were either incomplete or unavailable. Most coverage and analysis came from social media, YouTube breakdowns, and influencer commentary rather than the traditional boxing press. As a result, the bout stands apart from standard professional contests, both in how it was recorded and how it is remembered. Andrew Tate entered the ring with a kickboxing resume that reads like a highlight reel. He held multiple ISKA and Infusion world titles, he had a reputation for power, and a long history of calling himself one of the best strikers in combat sports. He stood just over 6 feet tall, carrying a walk-around weight in the 200-pound range, and for this bout, there was no grueling weight cut. He competed at a comfortable size. But the years since his last professional fight had added up. By fight night, Tate was approaching 40, returning after a lengthy layoff from any sanctioned combat. His training clips showed flashes of his old timing and sharp combinations, yet the question lingered. Could a former kickboxing champion out of the game for years still deliver under boxing-only rules? Could his experience hold up when it mattered most? Chase DeMoor, in contrast, brought a different kind of presence. At 6'4" and a natural 240 pounds or more, DeMoor cut down to a reported 220 pounds for the fight, a significant drop for someone used to playing defensive end on the football field. He was not a seasoned boxer by any metric, but he was younger, larger, and had spent recent years in the influencer boxing scene. DeMoor's camp was anything but traditional. He was juggling training with reality TV filming commitments, splitting focus between gym sessions and production sets. That overlap raised eyebrows about his preparation, but it also meant he stayed active in public view. On paper, the matchup looked lopsided, a decorated striker facing a raw, oversized athlete. Most expected Tate's experience to overwhelm DeMoor's size. Yet the tale of the tape told a subtler story, one where age, layoff, and divided camps would test both men's ability to keep pace when the rounds wore on. Round 1 opened with Andrew Tate setting the pace behind a long jab, working both head and body. His movement looked sharp, and he landed several clean shots while Chase DeMoor pressed forward with a basic guard, mostly absorbing the early work. The first 3 minutes passed without major drama, Tate's experience on display, and DeMoor's size not yet a factor. Round 2 saw Tate continue to control distance, doubling up on the jab and mixing in body shots. DeMoor began to close the gap, landing his first meaningful right hands and starting to test Tate's defense. clinches became more frequent, with both fighters tying up after exchanges, but Tate's output still edged the round in most observers' eyes. The third round marked a visible change. Tate's pace slowed, his punches lost snap, and his breathing grew heavier. DeMoor's pressure increased, forcing more clinches and landing uppercuts in close. Tate's combinations faded, replaced by single shots and prolonged grappling. Momentum began to swing as DeMoor's size and forward movement wore down Tate's defenses. By the fourth, fatigue was clear in Tate's posture and output. DeMoor now walked him down, landing heavier jabs and right hands as Tate's attempts to circle away lost effectiveness. Clinching dominated the action, but DeMoor's aggression and punch volume stood out. The crowd's energy dipped as the exchanges grew messier. Round 5 delivered the fight's most significant moment. DeMoor landed a powerful uppercut that left Tate on shaky legs. Tate developed a cut over his right eye and struggled to remain upright, relying on clinches to survive the round. At one point, Tate went to the canvas. Officials ruled it a slip, but the damage was clear. DeMoor pressed for a finish, but Tate's resilience kept him in the fight. In the final round, Tate entered with little left in reserve. His movement was labored and his offense was nearly gone. DeMoor continued to press, landing more uppercuts and combinations while Tate covered up and clinched at every opportunity. The bout ended with both men exhausted, DeMoor firmly in control. The judges awarded him a majority decision, with 2 cards scored 4 rounds to 2 and 1 card scored 3 rounds apiece. DeMoor's path to victory started with simple, relentless pressure. From the 3rd round onward, he forced Tate backward, using his 4-inch height advantage and natural heavyweight frame to close distance and lean on Tate in every clinch. Without official punch stats from the promotion, most analysis relies on visible trends. DeMoor's success came not from clean combinations, but from making the fight physically taxing. Each time Tate tried to circle out, DeMoor cut off the ring and crowded him, nullifying the jab that had worked early. Tate's movement slowed as his breathing grew heavy, and DeMoor's inside punches, especially uppercuts, began to land with more effect. The repeated clinches, often initiated by a fatigued Tate, gave DeMoor the chance to rest his weight and sap what little energy remained in his opponent. Cardio collapse became the defining factor. Tate's pace dropped sharply after round 2, and the absence of hard sparring or recent ring time showed in his inability to recover between exchanges. DeMoor, despite his own technical limitations and a reported weight cut to reach the contracted limit, maintained a steadier output. He did not need to win on accuracy, he won on presence. Every time Tate slowed, DeMoor pressed harder, using his size to force exchanges and keep the momentum on his side. Without official punch counts or detailed scorecards, judges likely rewarded DeMoor's forward movement and aggression, especially as Tate's offense faded. The fight's outcome was shaped less by clean boxing and more by pressure mechanics, one man imposing his will as the other faded. In the end, DeMoor's adjustments and physicality, paired with Tate's visible decline, dictated the majority decision. The official result was announced as a majority decision for Chase DeMoor. According to post-fight analysts, 2 judges scored the 6-round contest 4 rounds to 2 in DeMoor's favor, while the 3rd judge had it even at 3 rounds apiece. No official commission scorecards or judge identities have been made public, which is typical for influencer boxing events. The bout's conclusion sparked immediate reaction online. Fans flooded social media with criticism, calling out excessive clinching and a lack of clean action. Clips of long, tangled clinches and slow exchanges quickly went viral, with captions like, "Worst fight ever," and "What did we just watch?" Both fighters addressed the decision in brief post-fight statements, each defending their approach. The result and the style of the bout became instant talking points, setting the stage for a wider debate about reputation and the future of influencer boxing. Neither man left the ring with a title, but the reputational fallout was immediate. Andrew Tate's aura as an untouchable striker took a visible hit, with critics and fans questioning whether he could recover the credibility lost in such a public setting. rematch talk surfaced almost instantly, fueled by online debate and the sense that unfinished business remains, though no official booking has been announced. For Tate, the next step will be about restoring lost ground, likely within the influencer circuit, rather than a return to the professional ranks. DeMoor, meanwhile, stands to benefit from the spectacle. Despite questions about the fight's quality, a win over a former world champion opens doors to higher profile influencer cards and bigger paydays. Both fighters' next moves are expected to land on future Misfits events or other crossover cards, keeping them in the social media spotlight, even as traditional boxing circles look elsewhere. As influencer boxing grows, events like this highlight what is at stake: the sport's credibility. When spectacle outweighs skill, true competition suffers. Boxing's future depends on whether fans demand higher standards or settle for viral moments over real merit. The next move belongs to the audience. Share your thoughts below.